Hi there. So welcome to the broadcast once again. I think we went off in the previous video, so just gotta reboot this and restart it again in relation to that. So if you join the stream, comment below with any questions that you have, and remember also to become a VIP member by subscribing to the channel. Today I want to share with you, like you saw from the title, how you can stay focused and study effectively in this time of the coronavirus outbreak, and how you can be a productive person, because at the end of the day, after this coronavirus thing, you've got to be productive, you've got to stay productive, you've got to put in your best, you got to put in your effort, you got to put in the sacrifices in relation to that. Hi, Samuel, I see you. Samuel Quasin, I'm ready to learn something new from you today. Yeah, Samuel, very much excited for having you. How is your lockdown going? Well, for you, if you join the stream, you comment below. If there are any questions you have, you share them. So it's going to be a Q&A session. So I'm not going to be just talking. I'm going to be answering your questions as well. So whatever questions you have, put them in the chat box and let me answer them for you. I want to share with you how you can stay focused and steady during this period of the pandemic that we are on lockdown, how you can be productive, how you can study and be take your life to the next level. Because at the end of the day, after this pandemic, we've got to take our lives to the next level. Hi, if I miss your name, forgive me. Okay, let me just see the name I just had here. It says Ramochechi. Hi there. Hi, Ramochechi. I guess you are from South Africa. Let me know. The name looks like a South Africa thing. Okay, someone said very good. Taking opportunity to cover certain topics on my own. Yes, that is awesome. That is awesome, Samuel. You've got to take the time up and cover some topics on your own, and I believe that you are being productive, right? You are not just watching TV, you are not just maybe spending time on social media alone, but you are staying productive and working very hard there. So Ramochechi, you're welcome to the broadcast. Share the broadcast as well on social media, on your WhatsApp page, on your Facebook platform. Let's see if we can get more people to come in here, and whatever questions you have, whatever you are studying. So Samuel, the things that you are covering on your own, do you have any questions? If you do, put them in the chat box and let me help to address some of the questions for you. The things that you are studying on your own, if there are any things that you want me to touch on quickly. Like you can see, I have my board at my here on my back, so if I need to write something, I could quickly snap it up and then write it down for you in relation to that. So as we are on partial lockdown, a lot of people now, based on my viewership, a lot of the people who watch me are actually on lockdown in relation to that. I see a comment from Aite Prince Jr. Let me look at that. Aite Prince Jr. It says, always getting the inspiration from you. I just like your lectures. God bless you. Amen. Thank you very much, Aite Prince. Really appreciate that. That is my way of being able to provide you with the assistance, because that's the best thing we can do in order to provide you with the assistance, because I understand that we all having difficulties, we are all having our busy schedules, but at the end of the day, we should be able to take our lives to the next level. So thank you for being part of my family and the family here in relation to that. So Ramotheche said, do you have videos on management accounting? Yes, I have videos on management accounting. I think I have a lot of videos on management accounting, accounting for material, accounting for labor, accounting for overheads, absorption costing, marginal costing, budgeting. Yes, so you check the playlist, Ramochetti. Sorry if I don't mention your name right, okay? Forgive me. Let me see if I can mention the second one better. Well, Nyokong. Let me see if I can mention the second one better. It's Nyokong. So if you check my channel, so if you go to my channel page, you will look at the videos, then you check the playlist. So on the playlist, you check a playlist called Fundamentals in Management Accounting, I think so. Let me just confirm that, even that's the name of the playlist. fundamentals in management accounting. So yes, if you check that playlist, I have a lot of videos there on management accounting that can help you in order to prepare for your examination. Okay, so the playlist rather is management accounting fundamentals. Okay, so Nyokon, forgive me again if I don't mention your name right. Management accounting fundamentals. I have currently, like as of the day I'm shooting this video, I have 44 videos in that playlist. Okay, you said I'm correct. All right, thank you. So I have 44 videos in that playlist. So you go to my channel page, you can see the playlist Management Accounting Fundamentals. As of today, I have 44 videos in that playlist, and it covers a lot of things that can help you to be able to prepare for your examination, from the introduction to management accounting, accounting for material, accounting for labor, accounting for overheads, short-term decisions in relation to that. Hey, Uche, good evening. How are you doing? How is lockdown going on in Nigeria for you guys? You are welcome to the broadcast. Very much excited for having you. Any questions you have, please put them in the chat box. I'll be willing to answer any questions that you have, and I will be sharing with you as well how you can stay focused and how you can be productive and how you can study in this period of this pandemic, that people are thinking about a lot of things in relation to that. So comment below with any questions that you have, and I will be answering them for you in relation to that. So I think the last 3 days I shared a video on the channel on 5 lessons to learn from the coronavirus pandemic. I don't know if you have not watched that video, you can check it out and watch that video. I shared 5 key lessons. The first one is loneliness. Now, in this period of the pandemic, many people are alone, but you got to learn to be alone but not feel lonely. Okay, you've got to learn to be alone but not feel lonely. It's a key thing that you got to understand. So if you are alone, which I know a lot of you are, of some few people are with their family in a household or in a compound house or whatsoever it is, you're going to at the point feel lonely. There are friends you've got to vibe with, there are friends you've got to go out with, but because of this pandemic, you're not going to be going through that. So the question then is, how do you stay productive? How do you take your life to the next level? All right, so Ramotechi is putting a comment in there. Let me look at that. It says, thanks man, you have very good videos and I am using them for my CFA course. All right then, Ramotechi, thank you very much. It's a pleasure that I'm able to provide you with some assistance for your course in relation to that. I wish you all the best in your course, and whatever it is, if there are any things that you have that you cannot get on the channel or whatever it is, you can just put it in the comments under any of the videos. I look at the channel myself and I read a comment and I reply to all the comments myself. My team doesn't do that, I do that myself. So you make sure that you put it in the comment box. I'll look at it and then I'll provide you with assistance that you need. So in this whole period of the pandemic, the question we then ask ourselves is, all right, how do we stay focused? How are we going to be productive? How are we going to take our lives to the next level? Because like I said earlier, after this pandemic, the country is going to be opening up. Everywhere you are, the world is going to open up. Now, if the world opens up, the question is, are you positioned to take your life to the next level? Companies are going to shut down. There will be an economic recession in many countries and in across the globe. Now, if there is an economic recession, it means that companies are not going to be just employing people based on resume. Companies are not just going to be employing people because of their qualification, but rather companies are going to be employing based on the values that you are bringing on the table. It is for this reason why I want you to understand that irrespective of what exams you are preparing for, maybe currently your exams has been put on hold, like the ICAG in Ghana here, the May 2020 exams has been suspended indefinitely. So we don't know. Is suspended, and ACCA has also suspended some papers in certain regions based on the severity of the coronavirus and the various directives that have been put in place in those various countries in relation to that. But the question is, does that mean you cannot do anything? Does that mean you just have to watch the news every day, listen to the number of deaths, listen to the number of people contracting the coronavirus, looking at the people who are suffering the lockdown? Is that what you're going to do? No. So the big question we ask ourselves is, okay, how do we stay focused? How do we prepare for our exams? How do we stand in such a way that after this period of the coronavirus, we will still stand in the position to be able to take our lives to the next level? And so I want to share with you a couple of tips that I think that you have to use as a productivity hack in order to take your life to the next level. The first thing that I want you to take note of, very, very important. I'm just opening my notepad here. The first thing that I want you to take into consideration is the issue about the mindset. The mindset. It always starts from the mind. It always starts from the mind. If you're a follower of my work for a long time, you know that one of the things that I talk about is the mindset. Because the Bible said that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he in relation to that. I see your comment, Uche. I'm going to be replying to it in relation to that. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the way you think about this whole issue that is going on, some people are scared. Some people are literally paralyzed. Some people cannot study. I have people who call me and they are like, oh, Nhyira, if I pick my book, I can't even study. I mean, I'm scared of it. I'm afraid. So don't feed yourself up with this outbreak. Don't meditate on the outbreak. Look at the positive side of the whole thing that is happening. Look at the number of people who are recovering. Look at the number of people who are getting healed. I think that's just yesterday or today, Boris Johnson has been released from the hospital and he's well now. He was tested positive. He was serious, taken to intensive care, and he is healed now. And people are rejoicing. Yes, the issue is serious. The pandemic is serious. It is costing people's life. It is costing people's businesses. But you don't have to feed on it in relation to that. So in order for you to stay focused, in order for you to study, in order for you to take your life to the next level during this pandemic and after this pandemic, is to work on your mindset. How are you seeing this pandemic? How are you looking at this pandemic? Are you looking at it as a weak spot? Are you looking at it as something that is coming to end the world? Are you looking at it as something that is going to wipe out industries? Are you looking at only the negative aspects? There are students I have, they are like, Nhyira, me, I can't learn. No, I can't learn. So I asked them, what do you do when you get up? They said, oh, Nhyira, I just watch some movies. And I said, okay, so you were good watching a movie, but you're not good adding value to your life. You are not good taking your life to the next level. The question is, after the pandemic, will you be in a better position in order to take your life to the next level? So my friends, the first thing that I want you to work on, which will enable you to stay productive, which will enable you to study effectively, is to work on your mindset. Don't look at it from the negative angle. Don't think about it on the negative side. Look at the brighter side. Look at the positive side. What is it that you can do differently? How is it that you can take care of it? I like what Samuel mentioned earlier. Samuel said he has taken the opportunity to look at some topics on his own. That is a great mindset. So you're not just sitting down, hey, this thing is killing people. Oh, hey, I'm going to lose my job. No. Because you see, this is the thing that you got to understand. There are things you can control. There are things you cannot control. There are things you can control. There are things you cannot control. Number one, you cannot control the spread of the outbreak. You cannot control the things that are happening in the world. You cannot control it. But one thing you can control is how you react towards the thing that is happening. How you feel towards the thing that is happening. So don't look at it from the negative aspect. For you to stay focused, for you to be productive, for you to take your life to the next level, you've got to look up yourself in the eye and say, no, I got to do this thing. No, I got to focus on this. No, what can I do differently? No, how can I add value to my life? How can I study more? This is the time you've got to study, because there are many of you, if your exams were supposed to have taken up or were supposed to have taken off, you may not have done well. because you are not positioned. So literally, you have you have been able to be given time for you to sit down, study, practice a lot of questions, and take your life to the next level. But many people are looking at it from the negative aspect. So in order for you to stay focused, in order for you to study effectively, to pass your ACCA exams, your ICA exam, your CFA exam, your CMA exam, or whatever it is that you are writing, preparing for, maybe I have students who are doing their MBAs that I'm teaching them, not lecturing in their university though, but I teach them. They come for an extra class sessions from me. So I have students who are doing their MBA that I'm teaching them, and they are having their lectures online. They are still preparing, and they're still going for class. So the first thing that you got to deal with is your mindset. Very, very important. How are you thinking about this thing? It's very critical. Okay, it's very critical. So let me look at a question from Uche real quick. I think Uche dropped a question for me. Okay, so let's see what Uche is saying. Uche said, any recent video on corporate strategy, governance, and ethics, I actually need a module for assessing performance in service industry, like Fitzgerald and Moon building module. Recently we've not released any new video on corporate strategy, ethics, and governance though, but I think we have some lecture content available on the performance appraisal in the service industry with specifications to the usage of the Fitzgerald and Moon. So Uche, maybe what we would do is that we'll be releasing that video. We can work on that video and release it possibly in the course of the week to help you to understand. So let me add it to my bucket list here so that the team can work on it. So video topics, Fitzgerald and Moon. So we're going to be making a content available for you in that regard so that you will be able to use it to prepare for your examination. You use it to prepare for your examination. So that is the thing that you got to understand. The first thing, as always, it's your mindset. It's your mindset. Now, after you deal with the issue about your mindset, how you're going to be looking at this thing, how you're going to be approaching this thing, and how you're going to be seeing this thing in relation to that, the second thing that I want you to also look out for, apart from a mindset, is that you must have a to-do list. Okay? You must have a to-do list. If there is any time you need a to-do list, it is now. Because you see, now it's like literally a lot of people, yes, some people are working from home, but others aren't also working from home because they are not essential services and their companies don't need them, so they are just home. So if you're just home, then you need a to-do list. Okay? You need a to-do list, and there are a lot of apps available on the iOS store or the Apple store that it can help you to be able to plan your life. So maybe schedule that every single day, maybe between some hours to some hours, this is what I'm going to do. Between that hours to hours, this is what I'm going to do. And that is how you got. So you got to have a to-do list. Don't live your life to chance. Don't live your life to emotion. I tell my students this all the time, that you cannot study using your emotions. You cannot study using your emotions. You cannot become successful using your emotions. If you have any questions, put them in the chat box. I'll be answering all your questions for you. If there are any videos you want us to also release, like Uche just asked, you can also put that in the chat box. I'm going to be replying to all of that for you in relation to that. So you cannot study with your emotions, and especially in this period, your mind may not occur to you that you study. So you've got to use productivity hacks. Like for instance, if I take my phone, I have I recently uploaded or upgraded my phone to Android 10, and then with that it comes with a Samsung 2.0, One UI 2.0, and it has some cool features there that I can have the focus time. Now with the focus time, I can block notifications, block other things from otherwhere, and there are certain apps that I can use only within that focus time, as far as I'm within that selected focus time, and other apps are off. I cannot access them, I cannot use them in relation to that. Maybe that is one of the things you've got to do for you to become productive. So have a to-do list. Maybe when you get up, you do your quiet time, you spend time to pray, whatever, you do your meditation, whatever. Maybe you go to the gym, whatever, if you have gym in your house, or you can do some warm-ups in your house, or do some press up in your house. Right after that, what do you want to do? Take a breakfast. After that, what do you want to do? Maybe check your emails up, reply to some emails. Then after that, what do you want to do? Maybe you study a little bit. Don't feed your mind with the news that is happening, because this time the news is depressing. Okay, you become more depressed as you watch the news, because it's ugly. It's getting more ugly. It's getting more ugly. Yes, people are getting healed, but the number keeps rising. The death keeps rising. As of now that I'm shooting this video, I think the last time I checked, Ghana, we had 566 cases. As of today, now that I'm checking the video, that is, I'm shooting this video from the last time that I checked. So the question we ask ourselves is, what do we do? I cannot do anything. That is why we are on lockdown. So I'm in my room, I'm in my house. In that case, what can I do? Have a to-do list. So after you deal with your mindset, the next thing is you need to have a to-do list. You need to have a to-do list. Because if you have a to-do list, that will help you to focus. That will help you to focus. The only way you can stay focused is to have a to-do list. That is the thing. Now, people are going to be spending a lot of time on social media, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, liking things, commenting on things. You don't need that. You have to add some value to yourself. You need to take your life to the next level. And to do that, for you to be able to stay focused, for you to be able to stand out, for you to be able to be respected and be seen as an authority, you've got to have a to-do list to take your life to the next level. So for you to stay focused and study effectively, work on your mindset. Don't think about this pandemic. Don't think about this outbreak in a negative way, but look at it from a positive angle. Number 2, you've got to have a to-do list. Very, very important. If you have a to-do list, that tells you what you have to do every single period, what you have to do every single day. That is what will be able to take your life to the next level. Right, so I see a question from Samuel Quasin. Let me look at that real quick and reply to that. So someone said, please, could you assist me with the exam structure for level 3 papers for ICAG? Okay, Samuel, let's see what we can do in that case. The exam structure for the ICA exams, level 3 papers. For instance, if we take something like corporate reporting, 5 questions, you know that already. Question 1, always, it's about the consolidated financial statement. And remember, when we are dealing with a consolidated financial statement here, we are dealing with a complex group structure. So a parent, subsidiary, and sub-subsidiary, or a parent, a subsidiary, a sub-subsidiary with an associate, and you should be able to know about that. Step 2 is about the accounting standards, or question 2 is about the accounting standards in relation to that. So you're going to be having 5 questions on accounting standards, very, very critical. Question 3 comes with the issue in relation to business valuation, and then corporate restructuring and corporate reorganization. So it's alternate, but question 3 is for that area, either something on business valuation or something on corporate restructuring and corporate reorganization in relation to that. Question 4 has to do with interpretation of financial statement. Interpretation of financial statement, that is ratios, and I believe you watched my videos on the ratios that I did the last time. And then question 5 is what I call the no man's land area. It's going to be theory questions. That is going to cover issues like ethics, Number one, issues like conceptual framework and regulatory framework, issues like that, some issues in financial reporting, in corporate reporting or in financial reporting in general as well. And then so ethics, conceptual framework, regulatory framework, some current issues, and then some standards, some accounting standards the examiner could also bring you there in relation to that. So when it comes to corporate reporting, that is the exam structure for corporate reporting. So 5 questions. Consolidation, remember what is there. Either you are going to prepare income statements or statements of financial position, or the two, depending on the objective of the examiner. Question 2, accounting standards, regular area. And on my channel, I've covered all the accounting standards that you actually need for your examination in relation to that. Number 3, business valuation and corporate restructuring and corporate reorganization. Number 4, interpretation of financial statements. Number 5, the normal land theory area, ethics, regulatory framework and conceptual framework, current issues, and then some accounting standards could also be examined in the question 5 in relation to that. So that is for the corporate reporting. Then we come to advanced audit and assurance. Now, with the advanced audit and assurance, the question, I couldn't, there is no really a straight up like question, but I'm going to be giving you, okay, Uche also said, what of financial reporting structure? Okay, Uche, I'll be answering that in a moment. Let me finish with, how do we call it? Samuel's point. Now, when it comes to audit and assurance, I will not state the question specific, like question 1, this is what is going to be there, because it changes all the time. It's not fixed like corporate reporting. But rather, I will tell you what will be contained in the exams. Okay, I will tell you what will be contained in the exam. In every audit and assurance question, there is going to be something about ethical issues, because accountants and ethics is very critical. So there's going to be a question on ethics. It's going to be a scenario based. There's going to be a question definitely on audit planning and acceptance. So materiality, audit planning, acceptance, and materiality in relation to that. That will also be there in the exam hall. Then definitely there is going to be a question on something related to reporting. So at the end of the audit, reporting of the audit, issues about subsequent events, issues about going concern assessment, issues about other financial information, that is going to be there in relation to that. Then the 4th one, that is also another regular customer, is always audit procedure and audit evidence. Audit procedure and audit evidence. Definitely there's going to be a question there which the examiner will ask you, how do you obtain an audit evidence on a certain thing? Maybe it could be an inventory, maybe it could be an asset, or it could be a tax, it could be something. So audit evidence and audit procedure, certainly there's going to be a question in relation to that. So number 1, ethical issues. Number 2, audit planning, risk assessment, and also the issue in relation to acceptance of an engagement. Reporting, definitely there is going to be a question there. Then audit evidence. Now these are the conch areas. Whether you like it or not, there is a question in the exam or waiting for you in this broad areas when it comes to advanced audit and assurance. Then there are other audit assignments that the examiner always brings something on about, and that is where we talk about the internal audits, issues about internal auditors, issues about governance. Remember, governance is going to be very critical right now, especially with the collapse of the financial institutions in this country, Ghana, for instance. So governance is key, and the auditor's role about corporate governance is also fundamental. So the examiner could bring some things about the governance in relation to that. Then forensic auditing, it's another topical area that we can talk about. Audit of prospective financial information, audit of prospective financial information, that could also be there in relation to that. Then since we are in advanced audit and assurance, one regular area that the examiner also sets question on is the public sector audit, the public sector audit. So it's also an area that is a conk area. I think almost every time it's only per our view, like last semester for instance, per our view, looking at about 6 examination sittings, it was only 1 examination sitting that the examiner did not bring anything on public sector audits, but in the rest the examiner had something on the public sector audit, definitely for students to be able to answer, for them to be able to go through in relation to that. So certainly we're going to be having some questions on public sector audits in relation to that. So when it comes to the advanced audit and assurance also, like I said, it's not like the corporate reporting, question 1, this is what is coming. The examiner blends this up all the time based on the objectives of the examiner and what the examiner want to achieve during the examination sitting under consideration. But these are the thematic areas that we know definitely the examiner is going to be examining on: ethical issues, audit planning, risk assessment, and the issue in relation to acceptance of an audit engagement, reporting at the final stage of audit. Now when I say reporting here, remember the auditor's report is also part of it here. Now in the exam hall, the examiner is not going to ask you to prepare an auditor's report. However, the examiner may ask you to examine an auditor's report. So you must understand the pro forma of the auditor's report, the heading, the address, the issue about the opinion paragraph, the basis of opinion paragraph, key audit matters paragraph, the responsibility of the management, the responsibility of the auditor. You must know how these positions happen and what contents are covered in each of these things, because that is about the reporting aspect. And then the modification of the auditor's opinion. What are the circumstances under which the auditor's opinion can be modified in relation to that? That is giving the qualified opinion, diverse opinion, or disclaimer opinion in relation to that. All of those things are actually under reporting. So reporting is quite a huge area that the examiner always sets questions on. And one key area that you've got to also focus on for the immediate examination is the issue about going concern. Going concern is always important for the auditor to assess the going concern status of the organization. And now remember, when it comes to going concern, it is the management responsibility to make that assessment and do that assumption, but the auditor also has a responsibility to analyze and assess the reliability of the assumptions that has been made by management in their audit. So all of that comes under reporting in relation to that. I hope you are getting the principle there. Then from there, what other subjects do we have? Strategic case study. Oh my goodness. Strategic case study. Now, strategic case study, you know already, the exams is you're gonna have a pre-scene, and then you're gonna read the pre-scene, and then that is it. So the exams is gonna be in 2 parts. The first part is 50%. That is going to be based on the pre-scene, and then the second part is going to be based on the on-scene information. But when it comes to the strategic case study, definitely the modules are going to be critical here. So the pistol module, the Porter's 5 forces, the Porter's diamond, the Porter's generic, the metrics, unsolved metrics, like all of the modules, okay? All of the modules are very critical, so you must understand all the modules: balance scorecard, value chain analysis, yes, Fitzgerald and Moon. All those modules are very critical. You must understand when we use all of those modules, the advantages of using those modules, and how those modules help businesses in order to make very strategic decisions. So strategic case study, you must look at the modules very well. But not only that, you must also look at the financing aspect. Okay, so there is investment appraisal. You must understand forex exchange thing. You must understand, because if the company deals with acquisition of raw materials from outside the country, or they sell outside the country, they are going to be exposed to forex exchange risk. So how do they hedge themselves against forex exchange risk? So apart from the modules, you must look at investment appraisal, you must look at the forex exchange risks. Then the issue about working capital management, whether you like it or not, there is something about it in the strategic case study exams. So you make sure you understand how companies can effectively manage their working capital, how they can manage their inventory, how they can manage cash, how they can manage receivable, how they can manage payables, and the various decisions that they can make. And then the final thing that I can touch on there is the issue in relation to dividends. dividends, because companies pay dividend, and so the dividend policy of organizations affects the going concern status as well of the company, and whether the company will be able to have some money available for them to take into consideration or to undertake future projects in relation to that. So these are some of the things that you need to focus on when it comes to strategic case study in relation to that. I hope it makes sense. Let me sip some water. All right. So that is about strategic case study. If you have any questions, you put it in the comment box, okay? Then we come to advanced taxation. Advanced taxation. ADT. Now, when it comes to advanced taxation, you have to understand that here the examiner is going to be testing you on the tax laws. So you're going to be writing more than you'll be calculating here in the advanced taxation. So the tax laws, you have to understand the tax laws about oil and gas companies, taxation of various companies, dealing with resident, non-resident, permanent establishment, branch accounting, dealing with issues about mining, oil exploration, that is natural resources, taxes in relation to that. Yes, Samuel, you are asking a question in relation to what I'm saying. Let me see. Is corporate governance key to... Yes. I forgot about that. It's critical. So Samuel, corporate governance is critical to strategic case study. Only that it is not all questions that we can really see corporate governance in action. Like for instance, the last semester exams, it was even though it was a company, they were not having a structured board, and so you can't really feel the issue about corporate governance. But if it's a bigger side companies, then we can see the issue about corporate governance. Then Uche is saying that, do you have videos on simple group consolidation? Yes, Uche, you can check the channel playlist after this broadcast, and you can see my videos on consolidated. Let me see the name of the... Yes, it is Group Financial Statements. That is the playlist, and that playlist has videos on everything you need in consolidation. Everything you need in consolidation, I've covered it. And as of today that we are doing this, having this broadcast, we have 21 videos in that playlist, 21 videos, and it covers everything from simple group structure to complex group structure. So you, Uche, will be dealing with a simple group structure, and you can go through the videos one after the other, and then maybe Samuel and Co will deal with the advanced thing. So Samuel, yes, governance is key here. It's key in strategic case study, but like I said, it depends on the company that we are looking at here. So if the pre-scene comes and we see, okay, this is a multinational company, this is a well-established company, then the issue about governance will be critical in that case. But if the company is maybe just some one-man business, in that case, then governance may not be really something that the examiner will be examining much on us in the exam hall. So governance is key in strategic case study, but it always depends. It always depends on the case study in relation to that. So the final thing is advanced taxation, and like I was mentioning here, the examiner will be testing you on the principles, okay, on the tax laws. So here you have to make sure whatever you are reading, you are understanding what you are reading well. So Uche said, okay, thanks, you're welcome. So you have to understand what you are reading well. So how do we tax natural resources? How do we tax mining, oil exploration, permanent establishment? How do we tax them? The issues about double taxation, standard tax planning, very critical aspects in advanced taxation. So what are the ways through which companies can plan their tax? The issue about withholding tax. So if you are given a transaction, the treatment of thin capitalization, the treatment of financial cost and financial gain. How do you deal with all of that? So all of these things are something that are critical in advanced taxation. And like I said, you'll be doing a lot of writing here rather than calculation. So for instance, the examiner can also put you in a spot under tax planning and tax measures. The examiner can put a scenario down that, for instance, Uche wants to establish a business in Ghana and has come to you as a tax consultant. Advise Uche for tax purposes, advise Uche the kind of business that he should go into. So this is an open field. So as a consultant, you have to find out, because when you are determining the tax liability, the location of the business is very important, the industry they are in is very important, and even the rules that are governing the types of industry. So Uche can decide to open a subsidiary in Ghana, or can open a branch in Ghana as a permanent establishment, and what are the laws if they open a company in Ghana? If they open a company in Ghana, remember they are going to be paying a tax stamp tax on their capital, stated capital, and they are going to be paying normal tax like the way other companies pay. But if they establish it as a branch, then there is no stated capital and there is no tax stamp, but they are going to be paying a branch profit of 8% on their profits after tax for their expatriation of the profit, or to repatriate their profits in relation to that. So all of these rules must be there. Then location wise, if you're in Accra, the tax rate is 25%. If you're in Tema, the tax rate is 18. Sorry, Accra and Tema 25%, regional capital 18.75, and then district capital, or it's going to be is it 12.5%. If you're in the hotel, it's going to be I think 22% if you're a listed company. So you must understand all of the principles and the tax rates very, very well. So here, advanced taxation, Samuel, you cannot mess up. You can't forget the principle. Now, does that mean you chew Baba? No, you don't have to chew Baba. Like, you don't have to crumple it, but read it wide and understand what you are reading so that it becomes part of you. You see the way I'm talking right now, it's not Baba, okay? I have read it and it become part of me, so I can say it comfortably. Because if you chew Baba and you forget one, you are in trouble. All right, so you become familiar with it, you go through the thing over and over again so that it becomes part and parcel of you. Study it like though you are going to teach somebody. Study it like though somebody is going to come to you and say, hey Samuel, can you advise me what business I should go into and how I can save my tax in relation to that. So all of these things are key areas that the examiner will be examining you on as well on advanced taxation. But like I said, more writing here based on the tax principles in relation to, rather than the issues of calculation. That doesn't mean there will not be calculation. Then make sure that you don't catch yourself only looking at the level 3 specific, because the examiner can throw a jab at you from level 2, something on level 2, maybe something on fiscal policy. The way now the coronavirus has turned into countries are borrowing, and if they borrow, what is the effect of that on the economy? The examiner can throw that at you. That is a typical level 2 thing under fiscal policy, but the examiner can throw that at you in relation to that. So make sure that you look at that aspect as well, and then read it wide. Okay, so once you focus on the level 3 aspect, you go to the level 2 and then touch on some few things. Remember the issue about VAT, remember the issues about withholding taxes, very, very critical in relation to that. So Samuel, that is the answer to your questions. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment box. I'll be answering all that. Uche said, the way you talk, they challenge me, bro. All right, Uche, you've got to be challenged, you know. You've got to be challenged to take your life to the next level, all right? So let me go to Uche's question now. Uche said I should give him financial reporting structure. Okay, Uche, I have not seen your, that is Nigeria financial reporting paper yet. Okay, I've not seen it yet, so I will not be able to provide you with a solid info about that. So maybe this is what you can do. Maybe I can check out that later on, or get the syllabus later on. I don't have it here on this device, so I can get a syllabus later on, and then I will give you a key, because I don't want to throw bombs. I know my audience is wide. I have a lot of people watching me from Nigeria. I think it's high time I start doing something specific for the Nigerians as well, and my South Africa fans, and other people as well. So Uche, I don't want to mess anything up. I want to be specific about it. So I'm going to look at a sample of your questions and then look at the current syllabus as well on financial reporting for the ICAG Nigeria. And then based on that, I'm going to provide you an advice. Tomorrow I'll be live again. Okay, I'll be live again tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. So tomorrow I can touch on that for you in relation to that. Okay, so Uche, that's it. Samuel Quasin said, I always like your mantra. Study it as if you're going to teach. Thanks so much. Yes, that is it. That is it. Because if you study it, it's a mindset. So once you study it as though you are going to teach it, you can't forget it. Because if I chew Baba and I come and stand here, you will know that I chewed Baba. And it's there. It's there. If I chew Baba and I come and stand here, you will know that I've chewed Baba. Because you will know that I will not be talking the way I'm supposed to talk. You will see that I'm always making references. But no, it's become part of me and it is with me. Okay, and it's not because I'm a teacher. Yeah, maybe you will not teach, but learn as though you are going to be teaching in relation to that, and that will help you. Prince Edu, I think Prince Edu, you commented on my post on Facebook today, and you were asking something about ACCA F5. Please, can you upload a video on section C of ACCA F5? Okay, Edu, yes, I can do that. Let me see. Let me just cross-check to see if we have some content available. I don't want to promise you on that. Okay, so let's see. Performance measurement. Let me check my glossary of videos in that case. Okay, so that is about decision-making techniques to promote efficient use of scarce resources. I have some videos already, Samueledu. Check the playlist. I should have some videos on short-term decisions though, but I don't know. Let me just see to confirm. Yeah, relevant costing analysis, cost volume analysis, limiting factor, pricing decision, make or buy, and then risks and uncertainty. I think I have a video on how do we call it? Break-even analysis. I think I did a live video. So Emmanuel, you can check the playlist titled Management Accounting Fundamentals. Limiting factor analysis too. I have a video on that, so you can check that one as well out. The rest, we have content on them, so I'm going to be adding it to the video topics that you want us to cover on. So section C of F5. So you can check the playlist, and then that is after watching this broadcast, and then you can look at it in relation to that. Then the ones that are not there, we have content available on them, so we are going to be uploading it in the course of the period as we continue with our discussion. So if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box, put it in the comment box. In addition to answering your question, I'm sharing with you as well how you can stay focused and how you can be productive in this period of the coronavirus. And I've shared 2 key points so far in relation to the fact that in relation to how you can stay focused and be productive. The first thing I mentioned was about mindset. Everything we doing here, everything we're talking about here, it's about mindset. How are you looking at this pandemic? Are you looking at it as a victim, or you are looking at it as a victor? Are you looking at it as something that is going to limit you, or you're looking at it as something that is going to be exploring you? And like I mentioned earlier, I like what Samuel mentioned. He said, Nhyira, I'm using this period to cover some of the topics on my own, and that is a great spirit, that is a great mindset that will take you to the next level. And then the second thing is to have a to-do list. In this period, you need to have a to-do list. So take it, if it is your tablet, your phone, or whatever it is, if it is a paper, your notepad, your diary, have a to-do list. Okay, when I get up, I'm going to wake up. Maybe try this time around to start waking up very early. It's very, very important, because if you get up very early, you're able to buy some time in relation to that. So Olupo Steven, great to hear you again. You are welcome, Steven. Very much excited to have you, Olupo Steven. So you got to have a to-do list. So what do you do when you wake up? What do you do? Maybe you do your quiet time, you do your press up, your meditation, whatever it is, you pray, whatever it is that you're going to do, you do that. After that, what do you do? Maybe you take your breakfast. After that, what do? You study. Don't go and watch TV. Don't go and play movie games. You've got to have a to-do list on something that will propel you to the next level, on something that will position you to the next level in relation to that. Now, the third thing that I want to share with you is to build a skill around your career. Build a skill around your career. That's the third thing I want to share with you. Build a skill around your career. If you work well on your mindset, if you are going to have a to-do list this period, I can guarantee you, you're going to become successful going into the future. But the third thing is that you've got to build a skill around your career. Listen to me carefully. Don't just stay glued. Don't just stay glued in relation to your accounting, in relation to financial reporting, corporate reporting, tax, Darby. Go outside that and build a career. Now, like I mentioned earlier, now Prince Edu, I see your message. I see your comments. I'll be replying on that in a moment. Okay, so let me talk about this very quickly, then I reply to your question. After this pandemic, when the economy opens again and companies are hiring, they are not just going to be hiring people based on their resume. They are going to be hiring people who are going to be adding value to the company. So if you are coming and the only thing you know about is preparation of financial statements, the only thing you know about is how to audit financial statements, the only thing you know about it how to help the company to make management decisions, then you are going to be screwed. You've got to have some other assisting skills that will attach and around your career. So you've got to learn something about marketing. You've got to learn something about online marketing. You've got to learn something about communication. You've got to learn something about human relation. You've got to learn something about product pricing, Godzilla marketing. You've got to learn. So learn some skills, build a skill around your career. Don't just be one-sided. The world is not looking for only people who know about how to do one thing. Because companies, after this coronavirus pandemic, irrespective of where you are located, Samuel, I see your question. I'll be answering it in a moment. Irrespective of where you are located, companies are going to be employing not only based on your CV, but based on the value. Now, let me ask you this. If you are a company owner, and you're employing, two people have come for employment, and one person said, I'm an accountant, and that is all I have, accountant. And the other person said, I am an accountant, but I also know about internet marketing. I also know about online marketing. I know about brand awareness. I know about campaign organization, product campaign management, product launch. I know about that. So he's an accountant, but he has all of these skills. Which of these two people will you employ? Will you employ the person that has only the accounting background, or you employ the person who has the accounting, the experience accounting, and has the other knowledge? Definitely you employ the person who has the accounting and has the other knowledge, so that you can harness that person's skill to be able to build your company. And that is what is going to be happening after this coronavirus outbreak. So let me just jump back to the comments real quick. I see a lot of them there. Okay, so let's see. Prince Edu said residual income and transfer pricing. Yeah, Prince Edu, are you saying that I should make some videos on that residual income and transfer pricing? Is that what you're saying? Is that what he's saying? Let me know about that. I think that we have to make some content. We don't have any content on residual income. That will be under performance measurements. That is as well useful for ACCA F5 and ACCA F2 in relation to that. And it's also for management accounting and then introduction to management accounting in relation to that. So would you, if you want us to cover some topics or cover some content on that, let me know. We will do that in relation to that. Then someone said, please, could you explain transfer pricing in relation to advanced tax? Okay. Yeah, transfer pricing in relation to advanced tax. Then I see, okay, so Prince Edu said, yes, please. So it means we should make some content available on residual income and transfer pricing. Okay, that's awesome. Residual income and transfer pricing. I think we could make some content available on that, or maybe I could teach that as well. tomorrow in relation to that. Okay, so maybe I could teach that. The whole of this week I'll be going live, and I think as far as we're on the lockdown, I'll be going live at least to help answer some of the questions and teach as well, because now the questions that are coming require that I have to teach. So yeah, so Samuel, to your question about transfer pricing. Now, the issue about transfer pricing occurs in advanced taxation because it's a mechanism, it's one-way mechanism that companies use in order to control their taxes. In the context that, for instance, we have company A, and the company A sells to two other companies. They sell to company P and then company Y. Now, so I'm explaining the concept of transfer pricing to you with this illustration. Now, this illustration is complex because it's an advanced level for you to be able to understand the concept in relation to that. Ingirazi, in case I missed your name, forgive me. Ingirazi, I see your comment. Hold on, I'm going to be replying to that. Let me finish with this. So, Samuel, let's go. So, we have company A selling the same product to two other companies. Now, the same product that they are selling, they sold it to company P at say $2,000, and they sold it to company Y at say $4,000. The question is, you see, the concept about transfer pricing is one way to shift tax liability. So for instance, if let's say that company A and company Y are related companies. Now, I hope you know what is a related company, meaning they are under the same management, or they have the board chairman of this is the owner of this, something like that. So they are related companies. Now, maybe company Y is in a marginal or is in a high tax bracket, or it's a company that pays a higher tax because of the industry or the location that it is in. For that reason, since they are all related, they will try to increase their cost. So A will try to increase for Y to have an increase in their cost. If they have increase in their cost, it means they will have less profit available for the government to tax. For that reason, if a product is even $1,000, they may sell it to them at what? $4,000, and it's a way for them to also what? Expatriate their profit. So it's a two-sided coin. So at the end of the day, this guy has a high cost, and now there is a less profit available because he has a higher tax bracket. Another way of that is that maybe in the country or the location that Y is, they are prohibited from repatriating their profits. Or if you are repatriating the profit, the withholding tax on it is very high. Okay, so how do we still repatriate the profit? The company can still use the concept of transfer pricing. So the product is $1,000, but they will sell it to them at what? $4,000. So in their books, they are buying. But from the perspective of these guys, they are actually taking their money in relation to that. So that is a concept about transfer pricing. It can be used on a side where the other company or one company is in a higher tax bracket, so that we push the cost to the other person, so the other entity, so it has a less profit available to be taxed. Or if they are limited on the repatriation of profits, then they can introduce the concept of transfer pricing to be able to find out, or to be able to send their money off in relation to that. But the big question we ask ourselves is this is the big question. How does the tax authority determine whether this thing is a transfer pricing transaction or it is not? So look at the scenario I gave you. A sold the same product to P and then Y. Why is it that to P it was $2,000 and to Y it was $4,000? Now, before the tax authority, that is the Commissioner General, can decide to say this is a transfer pricing, there are a couple of factors that must be taken into place. Okay, and this is a question that is actually in my book, in my advanced taxation book. That is my new advanced taxation book. What do they do? Number one, we have to look at the time of the sales. Maybe the reason why the product was sold to these people at $2,000 was that they bought it at the introductory stage or at the launch of the product. And at the launch of the product, the company was doing the market penetration pricing. So they reduced the price. But after that, these people bought the product later on after the launch of the product, and the price has increased. Maybe that is the reason. Number two, it could also be about modification. Yes, it is the same product, but the specifications may be different. Like a car, we can all buy whatever. What can we buy? Maybe we can all buy a Lamborghini car with maybe 3,000 or 4,000 horsepower, but the specifications will be different. Maybe I would want some extra things on the vehicle. So maybe the reason why that same product was sold to this person is because of the modification. So the tax authority must verify and find out why is it that these two products are sold to these people. So it could be the dates they are buying it. It could be because of the modification of the product as well. Or it could be the third option, which is where they are using it to actually cover up some of the transactions to actually pay tax liability. So the tax authority, before jumping into conclusion to say this is a transfer pricing policy or this is a transfer pricing transaction, it must examine the circumstance under which the sales were made. It must examine the specification of the product. If the sales were made on the same day and the products have the same specifications and the products have the same features, but it was sold at different prices to the two companies, then yes, the Commissioner General can conclude to some extent that this is a related party transaction and this is a concept of transfer pricing in relation to that. So Samuel, that is just an intro of what you have to understand about transfer pricing. Is one of the broad areas in advanced taxation, but I believe that the illustration and the explanation it's key there in relation to that. Let me know in the chat box if I answered your question right for you in relation to that. So Ingirazi said, hello Prof. Yeah, I'm not a professor yet, so please don't call me a professor now. Just call me Nhyira, okay? Just call me Nhyira. I'm not yet a professor. All right. When I get to that region is a big region, okay? So I'm not yet a professor, okay? So just call me Nhyira, okay? That's nicer. Otherwise, that field is a big field. I'm now planning to get there. So, Ingirazi said, I got 42% on my CTA level 1. I have an exam end of May. How can I make it to pass? To make it to a pass? Okay, Ingirazi, let me give you the recommendation. I believe if you had 42%, possibly your pass mark is 50%, right? So how can you make it? Simple. Start studying. Number one, study again as though you know nothing about the exams. This is one thing I see. When people write an exam the first time and they don't pass, they feel they know already, so they need to do some small revisions. No. So study all over again. Start all over again with the mindset as though you know nothing about it. Start it as though you know nothing about it. So that is the first thing I would recommend for you to do. Start it as though you know nothing about it. Then before you start it, make an assessment of yourself. Sit down and make an assessment of yourself. What could be the possible reason for your failure? Why couldn't you meet the pass mark? I want you to do that before even you start studying. So you said you'll have the exams in May. May means just next month, end of May. So next month you have like 1 month, 2 weeks or so to go. Sit down and assess. Why do you think you failed the exams? Is it that you didn't prepare well? Is it that you underrated the exams? Is it that you did something that you shouldn't have done in the exam? Or so assess the possible reasons why you did not pass. If you're able to assess the possible reasons why you did not pass, then now you start studying as though you have not studied the paper before. Then through the process of assessing why you did not pass, identify your weak areas. Maybe there are some topics that you did not understand very well, but you still went to the exam more. So now those topics, spend more time on them, study them, solve a lot of questions, practice a lot of questions in relation to that. So that would be my recommendation to you. Number one, assess the possible reasons why you did not pass the exams. Number two, Identify your weak areas and focus on that. Number 3, study as though you haven't done the subject before. Okay, study as though you have not done the subject before. Don't be complacent. Don't say I had 42, I'm left with only 8 to go the pass mark. No, don't say that. Pretend as though you are starting all over again and be committed. Be committed. I believe that if you assess yourself, find out the areas you are having challenge with, study as though you have not studied it before, and you commit yourself, I believe that you can get a pass mark in relation to that. So in Girazi, that is what I will share with you in relation to how you can make the pass mark, and I believe that that will be productive for you. Let me know in the chat box if that is helpful for you. Then Ngirazi said, I have IFRS 9, IFRS 15, and IFRS 16 topics, and IAS 12 for that exam. Okay, Ngirazi, I have lecture videos already on these standards you've mentioned: IFRS 9, financial instruments, IFRS 16, leases, IAS 12, income tax, IFRS 15, revenue from contract with customers. So after the broadcast, you can check the playlist titled Accounting Standard Series on my channel page, Accounting Standard Series. And as of today, we have 39 videos, and all of those videos are on various accounting standards, and you can watch the videos there. They are very simple, straight to the point. We have solved questions in them to enable you to understand the concept very well, so you can take your life to the next level. All right, so that is the thing about that. Then Olupo Steven said, business valuation under 1, cash flow base 2, income base 3, economic value base 4, market value added 5. Now, Olupo Steven, are you saying that we should make content available on the business valuation, these methods? Is that what you are saying? Let me know. Okay, so Ngirazi said, thank you. I've watched IFRS 9 already. I will check the rest. Thank you. All right, Ngirazi. All those videos are on the playlist, Accounting Standard Series, and you can watch all of them on my channel. Olupo Steven said, I've been doing some studies, but I need some input. Okay, so if I get your question well, Olupo Steven, you are saying that you need some input, or you need some lecture videos or assistance on the issue in relation to business valuation. And to be specific, you want to look at topics such as methods such as cash flow base, the income base, economic value added base, market value added base. So I think we will make a content available, or maybe I have to teach that online live on the video. So let me add it to the topic request here, video topic. So business valuation. Okay, let me just take a screenshot of the chat, then I could refer to that later on. Okay, so let me just take a screenshot of that, then I could refer to that later. Okay, so Olupo Steven said you are passing knowledge. All right, thank you very much. So that is what you've got to understand in relation to that. So how do you stay productive? How do you focus? How do you prepare for your examination? How do you stand out? How do you take your life to the next level? How do you become someone who is effective and study effectively during this period? I've shared with you 3 strategies, 3 techniques for you to stay focused. Number 1, your mindset. Work on your mindset. Very, very important. Don't look at this thing as the negative aspect. Look at the positive aspect. Look at the brighter side. Look at how comfortable your life can be. Look at how you can take your life to the next level. Number 2, have a to-do list. Every day when you get up, what do you have to do? Between these hours to these hours, what must I do? Within these hours to these hours, what must I do? So have a to-do list. Then number 3, build a skill around your career. Build a skill around your career. This is something that people actually take for granted. People just think, oh, I'm an auditor, then they are walking around. I'm an auditor. I'm an accountant, then they are walking around. I'm an accountant. I am an investment analyst. They are walking around. Yes, you've got to specialize. Yes, it's true. You've got to specialize, but you must build a career you must build a skill around that career. So if you're an investment analyst, what other skills do you need? If you're an accountant, what other skills do you need? If you're a marketing consultant, what other skills do you need? An auditor, what other skills do you need? So build a skill around your career. And there are certain skills that are fundamental irrespective of the career choice that or the career path that you are going for. Communication skills are very, very important. Emotional intelligence are very, very important. Issues in relation to body language, reading is very, very important. Issues in relation to marketing, online marketing, especially nowadays, very, very important. Many businesses are not online. If you become an accountant of that business, you can tell them, hey, yes, you don't have to employ another person during my free time, or I will commit Saturdays. I'm not supposed to come to work on Saturdays, but if you can let me come to work on Saturday, I can help integrate the business and take the business online. Boom, you are an accountant. Or maybe you're an account clerk, or you're an internal auditor in the company, but the company is not socially engaged. The company is not online. The company is not, or they have a Facebook page, but nobody is managing it. You can take that upon yourself, and you are adding value. You are bringing ideas about the company. Remember, you are still taking your salary. You don't go and say, I want to do this, so increase my salary. Darby, just do it. Just do it. Now, if you do that over a period of 3 months, you have not mentioned salary, you have not taken anything, the board will take notice of you. The business will start growing. People will start knowing about the business, and money will start coming more into the business. And that is where now your salary will be increased. That is where now you become part of the business. That is where now your promotion become easily. So don't just focus on, yeah, I'm the accountant. Don't go around wearing your suits to make a noise, to make those noise. We don't need you like that. Have that career, have that profession, but build a skill around it. Look at your company right now as you're on lockdown. For those of you who are working, think about your company. Your CEO, the owner of the business now, is thinking about how to take his business. He's thinking about the coronavirus. As an employee of the company, this is what you can do. Look at your company and find out, in this period, what value can I add to the company? After this period, what value? That is why you've got to build a skill around your career. You've got to build a skill around your career. So instead of playing video games, instead of watching movies, instead of watching the news, what you have to do is to start reading. You can go on YouTube, check out a channel, or get some books and read. Read books on communication, read books on internet marketing, read books on how to scale up a business. Yes, you've not started your business, but there is what is called intrapreneurship. Okay, we have what we call intrapreneurship. That is an employee in a company who is an entrepreneur but doesn't own part of the company really, but just helps a segment of the company to go to the next level. So maybe you have a small business, there is a small business you are working for, like I said, as an accountant. They are not online. They don't even have a website. You can learn it. Creating a website is not a big deal. Creating a Facebook page is not a big deal. Creating an Instagram account is not a big deal. You can become that voice for the company at the same salary you are earning, but you are adding value to the company, and it will reach to a point where you become an asset to the company, and they can't sack you. If they are downsizing, if they are sacking people, they can't sack you because they know if they let you go, nobody will be there to take the company to the next level, and that is how you become valuable. So how do you stay focused? How do you study effectively? Build a skill. Because if you are learning a skill, a new skill, adding value to yourself, you become focused, you become alert, and you don't give time to some of these things going on our TVs, on our radios, and on the internet in relation to that. So 3 things so far. Number 1, work on your mindset. I cannot overemphasize that. Number 2, have a to-do list. Number 3, build a career around, build skills. Build a skill around your career. Build a skill around your career. Very, very important. Very, very important. I am here. Ultimately, what I do is I'm an educator. I teach, like you know that already. But aside that, there are a lot of other things that I do. I'm an entrepreneur. I do consultancy for businesses. I do online marketing for businesses. We do social media marketing for businesses. We create websites for businesses. And these are all skills that I learned by myself. Some have certificates on them. Some I just studied them on my own. And those things. So I've built a skill. So if you are engaging me for something, maybe one time a company engaged me for their finances, and I was preparing an account for them to help them to prepare their accounts. And as we were preparing the accounts, we were having a conversation, and I realized that they were having a Facebook page, but it's not being managed well. Their website was also clumsy. It's not really working well. Then I was like, okay, in addition to my job, can I add some value to your company? I will look at your website and I'll let my team do something about it. I'll look at your Facebook page. I'll let my team look at it for you in relation to that. And then boom. So the CEO came and said, yeah, why not? And they gave us admin access, and we redesigned the website. I engaged my team. We looked at the website redesign. We did their social media for some time, and they were amazed that I'm an accounting person. Yes, they see me as a finance person, but they didn't know that I could do other things like that. And it's been a long relationship so far. There are companies that I still engage for. I still do a lot of their online presence for them. Why? I've built a skill around my career. And you can't go broke. You cannot go broke, because if you can't get an accounting job to do, then you can do those other things, so that at every time money is flowing into your business, money is flowing into your pockets, money is flowing into your account. So when I say build a skill around your career, I'm not just saying it for you to help your company, but I'm saying it for you to become wealthy, for you to become rich, for you not to just depend on one job. Because if you have a skill, you can't be sacked. You can't be sacked. You cannot be sacked. If you're just an accountant, an accounts clerk, whatever it is, an HR person, then you will be sacked easily. But if you have a skill and you are adding value to the company, if they are looking for people to sack, you will be exempted. Why? Because they know that you are going to be adding value to the company in relation to that. So number one, work on your mindset. Number two, have a to-do list. Number three, build a skill around your career. Then the fourth thing that I want you to think about in this period of coronavirus to help you to stay focused is revisit your goals. Revisit your goals. Revisit your goals. What's your goal? Revisit your goals. What is your goal? How do you see yourself in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? How do you see yourself in the next 20 years? There are many people who don't even see that long. Some people are just thinking, oh, let me finish these exams, get married, rent some 2-bedroom house, and then, Charlie, let's enjoy life. No, that's not life. That is not life. Okay? So what is your long-term goal? You need to revisit your long-term goal. Because if you revisit your long-term goal, you will stop misbehaving. You will stop watching movies. You will stop playing video games. You will stop doing things that don't add value to yourself. Because the bigger your goal, now it is stated that if you look at your goal and you see a path to achieving it, then it is not a goal. Let me take that again. If you see your goal or you look at your goal and you see a straight path in achieving it, then it is not a goal. Because you must look at a goal where you don't even know how to go about it. So you have to be innovative. You always have to be thinking about it. So this period, in order for you to focus, in order for you to study effectively, revisit your goal. There are some of you have to revisit your goals. I know some of you have a goal. You want to help your mother. You want to become wealthy. You want to help society. But you cannot do all of that if you are broke. You cannot do all of that if you cannot pay your bills. You cannot do all of that if you are struggling as a person. If your rent is due and your landlord is sacking you, you cannot do that. So in this period of coronavirus, in order for you to stay focused, in order for you to study effectively, you need motivation. Something must motivate you to focus on your books. Something must motivate you to focus on your skills. Something must motivate you to take your life to the next level. So what will motivate you? You must go back and revisit your goals. What do you want to achieve? What car do you want to drive? What house do you want to live in? How do you want your wife to be? How do you want your husband to be? What schools do you want to attend? Do you want to be in a commercial airplane or be in your own private jet? Do you want to always be on the commercial bus or drive your own G-Wagon or Lamborghini or whatever it is, Range Rover, whatever it is, to your office? Or you want to join the public bus? Do you want to be on the motor, or do you want to ride a motor, or you want to be driven by your chauffeur? Now, by this, I'm not saying anything to offend anybody who is doing any of those things, but I'm saying that it is time for you to revisit your goals. Revisit your goals. There are some of you, your goals are too tiny. They are too small. Make them big. Make them big. Look at your goals and be scared. Now, people will say that, oh, if you set the goals too high and you don't achieve it, you will be demotivated. It's a lie. It is a lie. You set the goal higher, it will motivate you to go it, so that when you are falling, you will fall at a region where it will still be safe. So I tell my students this: don't aim for a pass mark in your examination, ACCA, ICA, SEMA, or CPA, CFA. Don't focus or look at your pass mark. Oh, I want to get 50%. Don't look at that. Tell yourself, I want to be the best student. Now, to be the best student, it means you have to score over 80. Now, if you aim at scoring 90% and you are falling and you fall to 65%, have you passed or you've not passed? You've still passed. Yes, you're not the best student, but you have passed. But if you aim at getting the pass mark, which is 50%, and you are falling, where do you fall to? 33, 45, 23. What have you done? You failed woefully. You failed woefully. So what do? You set the goals very high. Very, very high, that it challenges you. You have a sleepless night to work on your goals. So I believe that in this season of this coronavirus, for you to study effectively, for you to stay focused, you've got to revisit your goals. You've got to revisit your goals. So what are your goals? Revisit them. Now, don't say, oh, I have the goals in my head. It's a lie. Have the goals written down. Have the goals written down. Have them pasted, maybe in your bedroom, in your kitchen, in your beside your TV, on your chair. Have them pasted everywhere. When you get up, read out your goals every morning. Let it become a daily affirmation. Maybe one of these days I will share my goals, my affirmation with you. What I recite every morning, what I recite last thing before I go to bed every single day. And when I share these goals with you, they are big. They are far from where I am now. But that is what motivates me. That is what controls me. Why do you think I'm doing this YouTube channel? Because I want to impact people's life. Because I want to assist a lot of people. When I started my journey, I had it very hard. I couldn't even get anybody to support me. I couldn't get anybody to help me. I got to grind it on my own. I search, read books, bought books, do this, do that. It was hard for me. But I promised myself and I told myself, if I get to a point, I should be able to provide an opportunity for other people to be able to take their life to the next level. That is why I created this channel. That is why I do these videos. That is why I have these videos on this channel, and we will still be here in relation to that, so that I can provide assistance to people. How big is your goal? There are times I don't feel like filming, but if I look at the commitments, there is always something in my mind that if I don't upload a video, if I don't film, maybe that day's subject would have been the answer to someone's question over the years. Maybe for years, somebody has been thinking about that particular topic, but if I hadn't uploaded, if I should upload it, it will be able to answer the person's question. So that is the mindset. So even if I get up and I don't feel like filming, even if I get up and I don't feel like teaching, even if I get up and I don't feel like talking, my goals drives me to do it. That is it. So maybe it is time for you to revisit your goals. So Samuel, Stephen, Prince, Ingirazi, Uche, all of you, revisit your goals. Revisit your goals. I don't know what your goal is. You may not necessarily have to write it down, write it in the chat box here, but take a pen and paper, write it out, make it bold. Like the book of Habakkuk said, write the vision down, make it bold, so that the person who run, you run with a written vision, not a vision in your head. Anything that is in your head is not a vision. It has to be written down. It has to be written down. It has to be recited every day. It has to be seen every day for a minimum of 21 days. So that if you do that continuously 21 days, it becomes a habit, because it takes 21 days to form a new habit. So if you get up every morning, recite your affirmation, revisit your daily goals every morning, morning, evening for 21 days, it becomes part of you, and I can guarantee you your life will change. Your life will be transformed. Very, very important. Your life will transform. So in this period of coronavirus, to be able to stay focused, one of the key things I believe you need to do is to revisit your goals. Revisit your goals. I see a comment there. Let me look at what we have there. So revisit your goals. Very, very important. Prince Edu said, okay, thanks for your advice. It's a pleasure. So revisit your goals. What are your goals? Revisit them. So number one, work on your mindset. Number two, have a to-do list. Number three, build a skill around your career. Number four, revisit your goals. Very, very, very important. Revisit your goals. Very, very important. Then the fifth and final strategy or technique that I want to share with you, in order for you to stay focused, in order for you to study effectively here, is for you to have a study plan. Have a study plan. People call it a timetable or whatever it is. Have a study plan. Now, when I say a study plan, what do I mean? A study plan is, okay, I am starting to study now. I have exams, like Ngirazi mentioned that he has an exam. So Ngirazi, I'm going to use you as an example, okay, here. So Ngirazi has an exam ending of May. And today is 13th April. So that is about 1 month, 2 weeks to the exams. So if I say have a study plan, it means that you're going to be breaking down the topics into that study plan, so that you find out, okay, if I have 1 month, 2 weeks to study, what do I have to study every week? What do I have to study every day in order for me to cover the topics or to cover the syllabus, and then also be able to solve a lot of questions? That is what I mean by having a study plan. So have a study plan where you break down everything. So if you're writing, it's a financial reporting you are writing, have a study plan. Okay, I'm going to learn for the next 2 months. If I'm learning for the next 2 months, financial reporting, how should I break it down? Okay, week 1. If I'm learning for 2 months, that's 8 weeks. Okay, so week 1. From week 1 to week 3, I'm going to focus on the accounting standards. What kind of accounting standards? Week 1, I'm going to be focusing on 3 or 4 accounting standards. Week 2, I'm going to focus on another 4 accounting standards. Week 3, I'm going to focus on 5 accounting standards. That is a study plan. So in order for you to stay focused, in order for you to study effectively, you must have a study plan. And this requires work. And that is why a lot of people don't have it. It requires work. Because to sit down and imagine, envision, look at your syllabus, decide what you are going to be studying, Charlie, it's a work. It may take you 3-4 hours to be able to do it. But I can guarantee you, if you take that 3 or 4 hours to have a study plan for the next 2 months, for the next 1 month, or like in the case of Ngirazi, 1 month, 2 weeks, if you have a study plan, and that study plan now guides you every single day in relation to, you commit to it every day, whatever it is that you are supposed to do based on your study plan, based on your timetable, you follow it, you go through it, I can guarantee you, you will become successful. You will take your life to the next level. You will stand out among your peers, and you see your life going higher. So that is the thing. That is the thing. You need to have a study plan. So how do you stay productive during this period? How do you become effective? How do you study effectively for your ACCA exams, for your ICA exam, for your ICAN exams, for your CPA exam, your CFA exam, your CIMA exam? How do you stay focused? How do you stay productive for your exams? Number one, work on your mindset. Number two, have a to-do list. Number three, build a skill around your career. Number four, revisit your goals. Very, very important. And then number five, have a steady plan. I believe that if you follow these key things, these 5 key things, you will see your life going to the next level. These things that I'm sharing with you are not things that I've written down. Okay? They are things that I'm sharing with you because these are the things that have helped me in relation to that. And as you can see, I'm not reading from anything. I'm actually now typing out what I was saying. So I wasn't having the points that really I wanted to share with you. But these are things that have helped me. These are things that I'm using now in this period. So I'm actually sharing my real life experience with you now. So it's not something that I type, something that I research out to be able to come and do some specific. No. I'm just sharing with you from the abundance of my heart. That's it. And this is what guides me. In this period, my mindset is critical. I don't look at the news and make various comments about it. Yeah, I just look at it for the updates. Okay, stay safe. I obey everything very importantly. But I don't become fearful about it. I don't think negative about it. I work on my mindset. And I have a to-do list on what I need to do every single time. After this live broadcast, I need to prepare for my class on Zoom with my students at around 7 p.m. I got to be on Zoom. All right, I'm building a skill in relation to that. Okay, and I'll revisit my goals all the time. Like I said, one of these days I will share my daily affirmation with you, and I have on it 15 goals that I read to myself every single day. And some of the goals are really, really weird. They are nowhere close to where I am today, but that is what you do, so that when you look at it, it gives you sleepless nights. And if it gives you sleepless nights, you realize that I need to put in more work, I need to put in more effort, and boom, I'll become successful. Right, so that is what I want to share with you. Let me just look at, if you have any questions, what do you think about what I've shared with you? Is it something valuable? Which of the 5 you think resonates with you well? Share with me in the chat box or in the comment box as I read some of your comments here. So Prince Edo said, please, Nhyira, is it good to start solving past questions after studying all section? I mean, the text kits. Yeah, definitely. So you have to look at it. But before you start solving the past question, look at the examination analysis. I don't know the book you are using, but if you are using, I think EPP or so, did I say EPP? BPP or so, when you flip the book, okay, when you flip the study kits, I think before you get to the contents, I think so, you will see an examination analysis where they tell you about the trends. So they will take out the topics and then the exams and the years of the exam settings. So you will be able to identify which areas are recently being examined well. And that is what I call the examination analysis. So check it out to find out which areas the examiner examines well, and then read the exams reports. The March examination results has been released, I think yesterday or so, 3 days today. So read the examiner's report and find out what were some of the things the examiner mentioned, because in the examiner's report, some weaknesses, some challenges are shared by the examiner, and you can dwell on that and focus on what you need to do. So do these 2 things, and definitely when you solve some of the questions, you should be able to prepare well for the exams in relation to that. So solve the questions from the question kits. Yes, I will advise that, but like I said, look at the trend and look at the areas that are highly examinable areas that are highly focused for the examiner to be able to position yourself to study. One thing that you can be guaranteed of always is that when it comes to F5, key areas about the examiner, short-term decision, definitely there'll be a question on that. Standard costing variance analysis, definitely. Budgeting and budgetary control, definitely. Then the issue about profit statement presentation using the activity-based costing, definitely there is going to be a question around that in the exam. Or then performance evaluation, definitely there'll be a question, because these are thematic areas in the exam. Or then you also spread your wings around the other areas, solve some questions in the other areas in relation to that. All right, so Prince Edu, that is what I will say. That is what I would say in relation to that. Okay, so these are the things I will share with you today on how you can stay focused and how you can be productive in this period of the corona virus. Work on your mindset, have a to-do list, build a skill around your career, revisit your goals, and most importantly, have a steady plan. I believe that if you follow these 5 things, you will be able to become successful and take your life to the next level. So thank you very much for joining the broadcast today. It was a pleasure having you. Samuel, Ingirazi, Prince, Steven, Uche, all of you guys, and all of you who will be watching the playback of this lecture. I'm very grateful that you take the time to join me all the time on this broadcast. God willing, tomorrow we will have another session like this. This is what I want to be doing. I'll be answering your questions for you. And so topics that you don't understand, when I jump on live like this, I'm going to be going on the board, how I did for Samuel today about transfer pricing. I'll be jumping on and I'll be answering your questions for you so that you can prepare well for your examination. So prepare your questions for me. Same time tomorrow, 4 p.m. We're going to be going live on the YouTube channel like this, and then we will see how it goes. I'm also planning a masterclass session via Zoom, where I'll be having all of you guys on our Zoom call, and we can get more personal and talk about a lot of things there as well. So we are planning a Zoom professional, a masterclass on Zoom. Maybe that will be available from next week, and you'll be able to join us in relation to that. So I see some comments. Let me look at it. Samuel, I think what you have shared is very critical for success, especially the mindset, and learn new skills as an add up to your profession. Mindset is key to drive your actions. I have really learned a lot. All right, Samuel Kwesi, thank you very much. It's very critical for success. So once you are able to have the right mindset, it drives your action in relation to that. Ingirazi said, thank you very much. You are welcome, Ingirazi. Thank you very much as well. Now, I want us to be able to reach a lot of people. All right. The way you are getting value, I believe that more people are out there that will get the same value. So make sure you share the channel on your Facebook pages, share it on Twitter. When you share, you can tag me, because I'm on all of these platforms. You can tag me up in relation to that, and you can use the hashtag productivity in lockdown, and you can share on Facebook, on your WhatsApp pages, share it as well with your friends, your WhatsApp group, share it as well with them, so we can reach as much people as possible. Because I believe that, I know definitely that there are a lot of people who are struggling the same way I struggled when I started my journey, and today I've published 13 books and still counting. And it's because I want to also provide that platform to people, so they don't struggle the way I struggled, and they will become successful. I didn't hear some of the things I'm telling you today, some of the things that I share with you. I didn't hear them when I started. If I had heard them, maybe I be doing what I'm doing now, but it's all good, and that is why I'm able to now provide you with that assistance on your journey right now, so that you will rethink your life and take your life to the next level as soon as possible and become successful. So thank you once again for joining the broadcast. It's a privilege to always come your way, and I wouldn't be live here without you, and this channel wouldn't have grown to where it is growing now to. if you are not around with us. So continue to support us, continue to share our videos. Whatever questions you have, don't hesitate. You can WhatsApp. And for those of you who are requesting for our contacts, you can reach me on 050-114-9296, 050-114-9296, or you can send me a message on Skype. The ID is Premium Educator. That is my Skype ID. So you can send me a message on Skype on anything. Maybe you have a question and you want us to have a video call to discuss about it. No P. So you can send me a message either on WhatsApp 050-114-9296. The country code is +233. So if you are using +233, it will be +233-501-419296, or you can check me up on Skype also at Premium Educator. I'm also on Instagram, and I share some thoughts as well on Instagram, also at Nhyira Premium, and you can also like my Facebook page, also at Nhyira Premium, in relation to that. So thank you very much for joining the broadcast today. Very, very much excited. It has been a very, very great day. Samuel, Aite Prince Jr., Ramotechi, Uche, Ijehu, who else do we have here? Prince Edu, Ingirazi, all of you guys, okay? Olupo Steven, all of you guys. I'm very much excited that you always take your time to join me on the broadcast. And I'll see you same time tomorrow, 4 p.m. or 1600 GMT, for another special session. And I'll be answering your questions live. And I'll also be teaching live in order to assist you so you stay productive in this lockdown period and you take your life to the next level. So all the best and take care of yourself. Remember to stay safe, sanitize your hands regularly, make sure you stay home, but eat healthy food. Very, very important. You take your vitamin C's, make sure you stay hydrated, drink a lot of water, and eat much healthy foods in relation to that. So very much excited to come your way once again, and I'll see you same time tomorrow as we continue with our discussion. Bye bye. There are some topics we have to cover. So we check and see if we have some videos of that, so we can release it tomorrow. Alright? Yeah, we can release them tomorrow. So check the glossary for me. Alright?